Plates ready? This is Food School, Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Want to feel amazing, love the way you look in the mirror, and perform your absolute best in the gym, at work, and in life? You're definitely in the right place. Food. It's you. It builds every single cell of you. And if there is one thing every human being must master, it's food. Because at the very least, eating, you do it every day, several times a day, every single day. You might as well get good at it. I'm your host, Shurina from createyourself.today, your personal nutritionist and plate watcher, your diet guide and explorer, your fat loss coach and food inspector. And just someone with a lot of passion and obsession and curiosity for healthy food, healthy diets, nutrition, optimized human performance, everything and absolutely anything you put in your grocery shopping cart, your fridge, on your plate, and in your mouth. It's my business. Food School, on a mission to help you eat better daily.
It's the last time I talk about food. It's the last time I talk about food.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. And in fact, this is the first episode of 2020 and this new decade of our lives. I personally believe that this is gonna be the most awesome, the most extraordinary decade of all of them. And that's also probably true, when we get to 2030. I'd probably say the same about 2030, 2040, right? But so far, I believe this is going to be the most extraordinary decade of all of the ones that we had. Why? Because we never had so much technology improving every aspect of our lives and making it all so much easier and so much faster. Almost any information you want to get, you can get it. Like, it's literally at the tips of your fingerprints. And if you have a strong enough desire and you put this information into use, you can transform your life. And you don't have to stumble upon many things before you get results and fail as many times as you could have before. You can just, read a book, read someone's blog post, talk to someone, ask someone else questions, like anyone, literally. You can probably, if you really put your mind to it, even talk to, Elon Musk, the president of US or any country, and ask them any questions, and they would probably tell you what to do in your situation if you have a smart enough question to get their attention, right? So you can do and be anything you want. And I personally believe that if you truly ask yourself, and listen to yourself, to your heart, to your mind, what it is you want, what it is that is really important in your life, what it is you really want to create and do in this life, and you get the answer, you can be and do anything. Of course, it got to be grounded in reality, right? In our modern reality, with so many more opportunities, and miracles don't happen. You got to work for the things. You can't just expect for the things to fall from the sky, even though sometimes that happens too, but it's not something you should rely on. With your own actions, intentions, but most importantly, your focus, your intentional actions, you can achieve anything you want. Any health issue you can resolve, you can get anybody you want, you can get any job you want, you can create any business you want. There is never been such an abundance of opportunity that you can tap into. We've never been so connected. The knowledge has never been so accessible, and we're so privileged to live in this time where we can really change the world. Anyone can change the world, and I'm serious about it, guys. That's why I'm super excited about this decade, this new decade that we're starting, and all the opportunities it offers, and all the amazing things I'm sure you're going to create. Because if you're a listener of this podcast and you've been with me for a while, I'm sure you are that kind of person who want to change the world in some way. It doesn't have to be, building rockets to fly to Mars, but everyone can change the world in their own way, solve some problem for a lot of people, and change the world that way. So you have your opportunity, use it. And back to our podcast. Starting this year, every day from Monday to Friday, each of our days will be dedicated to a certain theme. So, for example, every Monday, as today, we're going to dedicate to some coaching strategy to help you to actually practice the behaviors to build the skills that will lead to your goals. So that's going to be dedicated to coaching through certain issues. Every Tuesday, we're going to get deeper into nutrition, health, science. We're going to learn things about nutrients. We're going to learn things about different diets. We're going to learn things about some wellness and fitness protocols. So it's going to be more about science and research, but of course, put into practice. Every Wednesday, we're going to be talking more about fat loss, like how to recomposition your body, and not just fat loss, but also muscle building. So every Wednesday going to be dedicated to that. Every Thursday, we're going to have either a field trip or a guest. So it's going to be a mixer of things, and it's not going to be dedicated to any particular theme, but we will be doing something like field trips to learn how certain food is made and why it matters how it's made and where and from what ingredients. Or we're going to have an amazing guest telling us something fascinating about nutrition, food, health. So that's all going to be on Thursday. And on Friday, I'm going to be releasing special episodes for all of you guys who are interested in food system, how it develops, how our supermarkets work, how food products are created, how food guidelines are created, but also it's going to be dedicated as a consultancy, as an advice to people who are in food industry. Maybe you have a food startup, maybe you work for a grocery chain, and so how to improve grocery chains, how to improve our shopping experience, food shopping experience, how to improve our eating out experience, so we get more health and wellness. But specifically, it's going to be dedicated to people who work in those industries, how you can start improving well-being and nutrition of your customers, of your eaters through the work that you do, be that food store, food chain, food product, or restaurant, or menu plan for your restaurant or your resort. So Food Friday, Food Industry Friday, that's what's going to be about. And as today is Monday, we are doing our coaching episode. And at the beginning of 2020, where a lot of you guys are doing or thinking about doing some goal setting to achieve more in this year, more than ever before, to have clear direction in your life. As a lot of people, my clients for sure, I myself am doing that, and probably going to be putting finishing touches on my plan for 2020 in the next couple of days. So as we are all going through that, I'd like you to consider a better strategy for goal setting, so you don't have just resolutions or goals, but you actually achieve them. And the secret to goal achieving, not just goal setting, is the next thing. So you have your goal, right? Let's say you decided that you want to be leaner this year, that you want to get leaner and stay leaner for the rest of your life, or at least till the moment while it's still important to you, right? So that is your goal. And you need to translate that goal into skills. So basically into things that you mastered. Like, for example, if you want to get leaner and stay leaner, you probably want to be eating better, right? You probably want to get more active and get more consistent with your exercise. Also, probably you should start taking better care of your sleep if that is the area where you feel you need improvement. You might also want to incorporate fasting. And so let's just take like those 4 skills, right? Fasting, better sleep, more consistent and better exercise, and eating better. So those are the skills that you might be working on to get leaner and stay leaner. And in order for you to master those skills, you need to translate them into your daily actions. So let's say you need to start eating better, right? You need to define exactly what it means on a daily basis for you to eat better and to get leaner, right? So for example, you decided that first week you're going to be quitting sugar or quitting eating pastries or things made from flour, right? So that might be a daily action that you're going to be working on for maybe for a week, for a couple of weeks. I suggest you to work on just a couple of skills because by science, studies on behavior, it's proven then when people master just 1-2 skills, they are 80% more likely to succeed with developing and keeping those skills than when you said 3, 5 or more skills. But 1-2 is like a golden thing. So if you work on just a couple of things, maybe for a couple of weeks, you are 80% more likely to succeed. That's why, I recommend you to work on just a couple of things. Like, for example, eating better, quitting sugar, quitting flour. For a lot of people, it will give you more results than you could have imagined ever. So those are daily actions of your eating better skill that you are working on for, let's say again, for the next couple of weeks, right? And so you need to also figure out like how you're going to do that. Like if you used to putting sugar in every of your drinks, then how you gonna not do that? Because a lot of times just telling yourself that you're not going to do that is not enough, because you need to substitute it with something else. You need to occupy your brain with something else. Just eliminating something a lot of times doesn't work for human psychology. So you need to replace it with something. So maybe instead of sugar or instead of sugary drink, you can add some almond milk, unsweetened almond milk, or maybe you can start using stevia, that is non-caloric natural sweetener that doesn't affect your blood sugar, right? And then maybe after you get used to using stevia, maybe you decide that you don't need that anymore and you just want to have black coffee. It's all transitional. Once you master one skill, then you can work on the next one, but don't try to be like 100% from the day one in all areas. That's like the recipe for disaster, right? So for example, eating better skill, you're working on that by quitting sugar and flour, right? And figure out again how to replace those items that you used to eating that did have sugar and flour. Then exercise, again, you want to develop this skill of exercising consistently. So maybe this week you start working 30 minutes more and figure out when exactly you're going to do that, when it's the most convenient for you to do that. Maybe it's on the way from home to work. Maybe it's on the way from home, from work to home, right? When exactly can you do that? Maybe it's on your lunch break. And that can be your habit for the next couple of weeks. And then once you're good with that, add something on top of that. And the third thing, fasting, again, on a daily basis. That skill, how are you going to be practicing it? Like, do you want to do intermittent fasting? Do you want to start skipping breakfast or dinner? Like, how exactly are you going to practice it? Translate this skill of fasting into daily steps. And take 2 weeks to work on each skill. And once you're successful with that, you can start modifying your behavior based on the results you are getting. So for example, you worked on your skill of eating better or exercise or sleep or fasting, a couple of them for a couple of weeks, and you see some results. And then based on the results you're getting, you adjust your routine based on how you feel. If we are losing weight, based on how much weight you lose or didn't lose, and then you adjust based on the outcomes. And so your goal, weight loss or fat loss, you're working on it through developing certain skills, and also understand that the things that you need to do to achieve that goal, they're not the same as the things that you need to be doing to maintain that goal. So for example, to lose weight, you need to still eat a little bit less than your body would need to use for energy, right? Like no matter what diet you're on, guys, like at the end of the day, the laws of thermodynamics still work. They work different in a body than would work in a calorie burning machine, but they still do work. So you still need to adjust the amount of food you eat if you're trying to lose weight. Now, if you're trying to maintain weight, then it's a different story. You can afford a little bit more food. Leaner bodies burns more calories and more energy. And when you are more active, you also burn more energy, and your metabolism is a whole lot different when you're more active, right? So there are a lot of different details that come into play when it comes to energy equation. But just understand this, that what it takes to get there is not necessarily what it takes to stay there. But also understand the other thing, that your lifestyle that led you to putting on weight, to that state that you're trying to improve, those habits, you need to change them for life if you want to keep the results for life. A lot of my clients that come to me, they tell me, oh, when I was active, when I was watching my diet better, I felt so much better, I looked so much better, and then I stopped, and it all went south, and now I want to get back to that. But a lot of you guys also might not realize that if you never want to get back to the old self, then you need to change your lifestyle habits for good. Not for a couple of months or half a year, whatever it takes to get to your goal, but for life. And again, achieving the goal is not the same as maintenance, but you can never get back to your old habits. And I have a bad news for you guys. With age, things do not get better. Like the older we get, after, usually after 30, the more work we have to put into maintaining our health. That's just the sad truth of life. When we're getting older, it's harder for our bodies to maintain health and fitness and lean body and great energy levels. Now it's possible, but you will have to work more on that. So just remember that. And let's take also, for example, holiday weight gain. You might like a lot of people, it's not uncommon to gain 5 pounds. And people want to lose that weight as soon as possible. Now, what you want to do is you want to figure out like what's the time frame for you to lose that fat, and then put in place daily behaviors that you can maintain for that period of time to get to your goal weight. Of course, you can say, I'm just not gonna eat, or I'm just gonna eat 500 calories, but we know where that goes, guys. It's not sustainable. And if you need to sustain something for a month, you're not going to be able to do that. So just be an adult, be honest with yourself, and realize what is actually doable for you. And doable in a way so it's not super stressful, because you have life to live, you have work to do, you have relationships to maintain. Life is a kind of like stressful thing. You need to, when you manage your stress well, you get to enjoy it a lot more too, but still, it's not all that peaceful. So you need to have a new lifestyle that is not super stressful for you, and you can actually maintain that. So if you want to lose those 5 pounds, like maybe 1 pound a week is a good number. And then look at the behaviors on a daily basis that you can start doing, and then adjust them based on the results that you are getting. So again, let's say your goal is 5 pounds of fat loss, that fat that you accumulated over the holidays, right? So break it down into 5 milestones, maybe 1 pound per week, maybe 1 pound per 2 weeks, and make sure that you have some measuring system in place, and that is a good system, like for example, maybe you should try to measure your fat mass instead of overall weight, because at the end of the day you're not really you don't really want to lose weight, you want to lose fat. So you might want to measure your fat percentage, and in a lot of gyms that service is widely available, and you don't have to join the gym just for that. You can figure out a way how to work with them without joining the gym. So you measure your fat. Let's say you're losing 1 pound of fat per week, and that would be approximately, for a lot of people, somewhere in the range of 300 to 500 calories deficit with increased activity, and plus if you do some sleep and you have some good eating routine, incorporating some intermittent fasting, doesn't have to be crazy. And so you do these adjustments on a daily basis, and then every week you measure your progress and you adjust what you do on a weekly basis. And then also, if something is not working, like one behavior, you just can't stick to it. Like, for example, you need to have a meal at, 7 or 8 p.m. Otherwise, you just don't sleep well, right? So maybe then skip breakfast if you are not, if you are a dinner person, but you can easily skip breakfast. Or maybe, 14 hours of fasting is enough for you, and you'd like to have 3 meals a day in the morning, in the afternoon, at night, and but you can cut down some amount of food at every meal. So whatever works for you, just make sure that your goal is translated into skills, and those skills are translated into daily actions, and you actually measure your results. That's the summary of today's episode, and of goal achieving science that will come in handy for any goal you want to achieve in 2020. So that's it for today, guys. Again, to achieve any of your goals in 2020, what you want to do, if you want to set that goal that is measurable, so you do have a way to measure your progress, then you translate that goal into skills that you need to work on, and then like eating better or exercise, and then translate those skills into daily actions. Like, what exactly does it mean for you to eat better or to exercise more? Those phrases, they're still too generic. You need to translate them into exact actions that you can do, knowing yourself and your life situation, right? And again, measure your progress. And when it comes to healthier eating, maybe you need to calculate your micronutrients, or just, have an idea, what does it look to have a good breakfast, lunch, or dinner, healthy, that is good for weight loss. So for all of you listeners of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast, really, in a really simple and easy way, I can and will deliver a small report on macronutrients and what exactly to eat at breakfast, lunch, and dinner based on the best practices in the industry of nutrition, health, and weight loss coaching. I'm going to send you a plan after asking you for a few pieces of information, like what's your weight right now, what's your goal weight, and a few other questions. And I will send you a report that will tell you how many calories you need to eat approximately, and how does it translate into actual foods without having to count and weigh everything. So you get to learn a lot about healthier and better eating, especially when it comes to weight loss and fat loss, but also if you're trying to recomposition your body, let's say build muscles. So this report is going to be absolutely free. Again, you just have to email me with your name and your goal, and I'll ask you a few other questions, and we'll send you a report in a day or two, and then you can follow up with more questions. But that will really help you to start working on that eating better part of the equation, and finally figure out what it looks like, what it means to actually eat better. What is a healthy, balanced diet for your goals, for your specific diet, for your specific food preferences? So send me email with your name, with your goal weight, like how much you're trying to lose. And I'll send you a report and you'll start working on your goals with some solid foundational knowledge. So do that, email me, and let's start working on it. Coaching Monday. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for making Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast a success. We have more than 2,000 listeners every single week. So thank you guys for staying tuned, for bringing more people. Thank you for making my day so much more enjoyable. I love doing this podcast and set goals, translate them into skills, translate them into daily actions, and achieve those goals in 2020 and beyond. Thank you guys. And as usual, till next time, eat better daily.